You ready?
Yep.
Meeting to order. It's 9:07, May 21st, 2026. Roll call, please, David.
Chairman Smith,
Here.
Vice Chairman Buffington, here. Commissioner Petrie,
Here. Let the record show that the quorum is present. Staff, attendance is Richard Bustamante, in-house counsel, Izzy Trejo, New Mexico Racing Commission Executive Director, David Dominguez, New Mexico Racing Commission Senior Law Clerk. To the pledge of allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The agenda, is there any changes to the agenda? Izzy, Richard?
Chairman, none that we're aware of.
For a motion to approve the agenda?
As Buffington, I will make that motion. Second, Petrie.
Roll call, please, David.
Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Buffington. Yes. Commissioner Petrie.
Yes. Right. To approval of the minutes. Is there any change in the minutes that we need to know about? None? Nope. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes.
Buffington, I will make the motion to approve the minutes of April 16th and April 27th. Second, Petrie.
Roll call, please, David.
Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Buffington.
Yes.
Commissioner Petrie.
Yes.
Do the commissioners have any reports? Izzy?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of everyone attending here live in person. Izzy Trey, Executive Director of the New Mexico Racing Commission. Not a lot to report on other than we just concluded the Sunray race meet. I don't know how the numbers were, but at last appearance, it looked like they're handling a little bit over $100,000 race day, and that's because they do not simulcast intrastate throughout the country, merely intrastate within the state of New Mexico and on an international basis. So, they found their niche with that. They're happy running their 18 days, just not exporting the signal to the masses around the United States. As you know, they don't comply with HISA. That's one of the reasons why they don't export. But otherwise, I think the race meet went good. The 2 times that I made it out, the attendance looked very good. Vibrant. The downstairs was always packed with people. And it's a nice sign of show of support for the facility. We did have a couple power outages that cost us a race and some delays, but it all got worked through. It ended up being a fun little race week. That's what it is. It's fun. Other than that, we do have an enforcement team coming in from all parts of the country for the trials at Rito, at the Downs at Albuquerque race meet. Investigators from different jurisdictions will be on property tomorrow morning, first thing, doing searches, just having boots on the ground and making sure people are complying with the New Mexico administrative rules. So happy to bring them in. They've been effective in the past. We've had hearings on some findings before. We've won, so they're very professional and very good at doing their job, very good at seeking out wrongdoers. So hopefully an extra set of eyes and ears throughout the facility. We also will be utilizing one of them to be videotaping horses after the races. We all know what's happened in Oklahoma and the advantage that having video of horses in distress after the race as a very useful piece of evidence to put these horses on a emergency order stewards list. Oklahoma, as most people probably heard, have put 171 horses on the stewards list that are not able to run until they've been vetted out efficiently by regulatory staff. We just want to be prepared. So video evidence is one of the best pieces that can help us in bringing out these cases. So, we tried working with the Downs at Albuquerque on it. I don't think we're going to get it done. There's costs involved with that. I understand it. So we will utilize one of these investigators to be out there with a camera recording horses that are in distress and attaching those names. And should the commission feel it necessary, we will put a stable to cease its operations if we see too many of their horses being in distress after these races. So it just, you can call this a notice, whatever you want, but I think we need to be more progressive in that approach. And I think it'll be useful to have these cameras rolling to get the evidence that we'll need to put stables to a stop. And we don't want to do that, but if horses are on the verge of dying on our racetracks, this is a new day and age. The commission does not want to be in the barrel again like it was in 2023 when we got a letter from our bosses in Santa Fe. So we want to be a little more progressive in our approach to these trials for the whole season. I stand for any questions.
No, I got a question about, since we're talking about HISA. My understanding is a lot of people, because we're only running one day of thoroughbreds, have given up their stalls and going to another state. Is that right?
The big guys chopped the stables. Most of the open horses left. The breed horses stayed. Yeah, that a little bit to it after one day of racing.
Right.
Compromised a little bit, but not a whole lot.
So you don't see it to be a problem?
Well, I only have so many stalls for thoroughbreds.
Yes.
When I got to try, run all these trials and finals and read this, we don't have so many stalls.
True.
I think we allotted around 500 thoroughbred stalls, 1,100 quarter horse stalls. But they will be back in late August. So we got to figure out what we're going to do with all those thoroughbreds come late August.
Yeah. So on the HISA money, we're probably going to have to go to Santa Fe and get that raised, aren't we? I mean, we don't have enough money to pay all these fees to HISA.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, that is a true statement. We're really running on the cusp of the budget appropriation for that fund, for the 336 fund this year. We're going to scrape by this year. Luckily, Sunland canceled a handful of days and didn't train a handful of days. So, that'll help us out. I mean, we were pinching pennies here a couple of weeks ago on the 336 money. And now with Redoso running thoroughbreds and being a HISA race meet, now that's more money coming out of that fund that we didn't spend last year. So we're probably need to increase that 1.2% to a higher percentage. And then there's also language written in the bill that allows the agency to be able to tap into some of that money. So at this point, we won't be able to, but if we can increase that 1.2% and perhaps 1.5% or 2% to build the fund a little higher, then maybe the agency won't have to suffer every year with its budget and going up to Santa Fe and asking for money and not getting any. So it could be a useful fund if we utilize it wisely.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Everything good? Let's move on to Mary, New Mexico Breeders Association report. Mary, SP, please see him in person.
Yeah. Good to see you too. So, when I originally sent in my reports, there was only 15 days. So I have updated these reports for the end of Sunrise. So it's all 18 days. Then it'll be their final report. So in 18 days, Sunray Park ran 58 New Mexico bred races. Of those, 25 were thoroughbred overnight, 21 quarter horse overnight. There were 6 quarter horse trials, 3 thoroughbred stakes, and 3 quarter horse stakes. Our contribution to those races came out to $429,500, and that is $76,000 less than in 2025. They averaged 3.23 races per day. There were 28 thoroughbred, 30 quarter horses, and there were +4 for the 3 a day. For the average field size for New Mexico bred overnight races only, On the thoroughbreds, there was 213 horses scheduled to run. 18 of those were scratched, leaving 195, 25 races, and the average field size was 7.8. For the quarter horses, 196 horses were scheduled to run and 6 scratched, leaving 190. There were 21 races, and the average field size for quarter horses was 9.05. The combined average field size was 8.37. For New Mexico breds running in open overnight races in the 18 days, 345 New Mexico breds ran in open overnight races. And of those, 103 New Mexico breds came in first, second, or third, and that is 30%. There were 59 thoroughbreds, 44 quarter horses, and our contribution was $114,735.90. Now, looking at these numbers, I decided to do an additional report. Sunray Park ran a total of 182 races during their 18 days. And of those, we had 58 New Mexico bred races. So there's 58 New Mexico bred winners there. Plus they had 28 win in open overnight races. So that's 86. So 48% of the winners were New Mexico bred.
You love.
Well, there's a big population, I think, of New Mexico breds at Sunray Park than at most of the other racetracks. Plus, it's a little easier there, I think, too. So,
That's a good thing.
right. But, and you also can look, and I mean, this was something interesting. I mean, there's 28 breeds ran and won in open races, and there were 40 that came in second and 35 that came in third. So for the overnight races, 89% of the horses that ran in the first top 3 were New Mexico bred races, New Mexico bred horses. So, and I think that's also because they don't ride any New Mexico bred extra races. So a lot of horses run open there. So
I noticed in the racing card, there were at least one race that said New Mexico breed preferred.
Mhm.
And in that one race, there were 8 horses. 4 were New Mexico breeds and 4 were open.
Mhm.
And either one of those races would have went if they would have not had the option for open. It also gives people with open horses an opportunity to get in a race. And
well, there was a lot of New Mexico breds running in open overnight races,
Yeah.
even if they weren't preferred.
I know, but
So
the particular one that I saw
it's nice to be preferred,
would not have happened.
and we have a better chance of winning too.
And it gave, and that race happened to New Mexico breed one, but I mean, I just think that's, something that, how do you attract horses from out of state? If you think about it, thoroughbreds particularly, but half the races are quarter horse races. Half that remains are fillies and mares, colts and geldings. And then, then you have distance and short. Well, we are not going to be able to attract outside horses with that few of races available.
Or open horses.
Yeah,
However-
I mean, you're not going to bring a horse, a trainer's going to, very difficult to come to New Mexico when you aren't going to have any opportunities.
Well, especially with only 18 days.
Yeah.
I was married to a horse trainer.
Yeah.
And we used to move our entire stable from Sunland Park all the way up to Farmington, 35 head of horses, and half of them never got to run.
Yeah, no, it's,
So it's really hard with a short meet like that to get people from out of state to spend all that money and effort to move their stable here, because it really is extremely expensive to do.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work to tear everything down, move it to Farmington. 18 days later, you're tearing it down again to move to Albuquerque. So it's really hard to do.
short meets are definitely a big part of that.
Yeah.
Because
It's very hard to put this.
what opportunities you're going to have to race.
Yeah, and it's hard to get people.
Stable of 30 horses, you may get a few in.
right? You might get 15 of them to get to.
Maybe if you're lucky.
That's why a lot of people just go to Albuquerque and haul in if they're lucky enough to get a horse in.
Yeah.
So,
So anyway, I think that's part of our long-term, we need to I have no brilliant, simple solutions, but I think that's part of our problem.
sure. And, I love Farmington. I have a lot of wonderful memories from Farmington, but I am very much for going to Clovis simply because we'll get more days and it'll be like more money too,
Mhm.
bigger purses.
Well, double the number of race days right off the top and probably 4 times as much money.
Well, and I don't know,
And for the state and the purse money.
Right.
Yeah.
each racetrack, is different. Like Farmington probably gives us the least amount of races, and then Ruidoso, and then Albuquerque. And Zia Park and Sunland Park are very, very generous with the New Mexico horse breeders. They run a lot of New Mexico bred races. Of course, they have the money to do so, and they have the population. So at least for now, we're still filling a lot of stalls and filling a lot of races. So,
Quarter horses, razor, they can run on with anybody in the country now. I mean, they brought it to a different level, and I think will we ever get our thoroughbreds to that point? I would say probably not. But
well, when are you going to breed a horse, Billy?
I've been training right now.
But I mean,
I'm gonna breed a horse. Let's see, I got about 7 or 8 in full right now.
but they're not New Mexico breds. You're not breeding in New Mexico. And you're not breeding thoroughbreds either. The only breeder up here really is Commissioner Buffington.
I'm a poor one.
And you have, yeah, I think you bred a mare last year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So did you have a baby?
no. It's a tough business.
Yeah, it is a tough
Tough
business.
business.
Yeah,
And you
very
have to wait so
gradual.
long. You have to wait so long that, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a tough business.
It is, but you guys can handle it. How about you, Commissioner Petrie?
Bobby.
When are you gonna?
Well,
That-
the learning phase.
Yeah, you should join my organization. It's really one of the best breed organizations in the country. We're very proud of it.
I don't doubt that.
And if people like you could really make a difference. So,
Well, I'm always shooting for the stars. Very seldom do you get a home run like I've been fortunate.
You've had a
to
few.
have. But I'm a big supporter of New Mexico, you know that. I mean, I
Well-
give. And you know what? Think about the new operations think about what Sunland Park's done. They've turned that casino around big time. Look what it's done to your persons.
oh, I know.
So it's.
They've all been doing better
Yeah.
lately.
You know, you got to.
So. Zia Park. Oh,
Museum Park's they're always.
yeah, but
money-wise.
in 1 week,
That one was down until it sold. And they really,
it has come up.
they have come, and that kudos.
Yeah.
To everybody involved.
They do a great job.
But quit getting on me about the Mexico breads. I will one day, think we'll buy one.
That's my job. That's my job. You told me you had Tommy looking for a mare for you. What happened to that?
Well, I got 2 or 3 married, but that turned full to.
FDD. Yeah.
So,
Well, we got Electric Cowboy and we got Big Daddy and I Am King and we got some really great ones right here. And when you have all these FDDs, you gotta, they grow up, they gotta be bred to something else, right? So you might as well.
all right.
I'll talk to you into it. So,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Now that we got briefed there and undressed, let's move on. But you know what? Trying to take us into closed session.
Okay, I move that the commission enter into executive session to discuss pending litigation, licensing matters, and for deliberations in connection with legal proceedings as identified under item number 8 of the meeting agenda in accordance with NMRC 1978, sections 10-15-1H, 1, 3, and 7 of the Open Meetings Act.
Second, Petrie.
Roll call, please, David.
Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Buffington,
Yes.
Commissioner Petrie.
Yes.
Are we ready?
You want to bring it back in the,
Oh, all right. Okay, we are back on the record, and this is the May State of New Mexico Racing Commission regular meeting. And I will affirm that during the executive session, the matters discussed were those listed in the agenda, and discussions were had, and no decisions were made. And Chairman Smith.
call, please, David.
Yes, Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Buffington,
Yes.
Commissioner Petrie.
Yes.
Moving on to unfinished new business and action items. Richard on the. And this,
Okay. It's my understanding that the commissioners, having reviewed and been briefed on the Juan Hernandez appeal, that the commissioners would like to entertain a motion to adopt the hearing officer's report and recommendations. That would be basically for failure to present his horse for a pre-race soundness inspection at the designated time, which necessitated a late scratch. That the commission would like a motion to adopt the hearing officer's report and recommendations, which include a 60-day suspension, of which Mr. Hernandez has already served that, a $3,000 fine, which Mr. Hernandez has already paid, a $2,500 fine for a frivolous appeal, and also that Mr. Hernandez is required to take and pass the New Mexico trainer's test in order to have his license reinstated.
Commissioner Buffington, I would make that motion.
Second, Petrie.
roll call, please, David.
Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Buffington,
Yes.
Commissioner Petrie.
Yes.
Moving on to B, approval for Sunray Park.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Tim McCormick with Sunray Park. Did you want me to go ahead and read all items 1 through 5 or?
Yes.
Okay. Sunray Park respectfully requests for application for approval to run a 13 race card and amend post time for Friday, April 24th, 2026. Those are our trial races.
Excuse me.
Those were our trial races. We ended up running 13 races that day.
Okay.
Request for ratification for approval to amend paddock judge official to Jackie Riddle on May 1st, 2026. Request for ratification of approval to amend post times for the 10th race on May 2nd, 2026, which was Kentucky Derby Day. We didn't want to run on top of them. Number 4, request for ratification of approval to amend clerk of scales to Robert Pryor on the following dates. He worked April 17th through April 19th and May 15th through May 17th, while our regular clerk of scales, Jory Scriber, was unavailable. And then number 5, request for ratification for approval of cuts race 6 on May 9th due to a temporary power outage that happened at McGee Park, Sunray Park is located.
Looking for motion to approve.
Buffington, I'll make a motion to approve 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Second, Petrie.
Roll call, please, David.
Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Buffington,
Yes.
Commissioner Petrie.
Yes.
Thank you.
On to C, approvals for Zia Park.
Chris McLean.
Chris McElwain.
Yes, yes, Chairman, Commissioners, Chris Mackerlane, Penn Entertainment representing Zia Park. Our first request is for approval of the 2026 Zia Park stake schedule. It was submitted to the commission. We did point out a couple adjustments for this year. There is a new quarter horse stakes race, which we consulted with the New Mexico Breeders Association. It's a straight 3-year-old filly New Mexico bred race, which will be in mid-December for $100,000 total. We made a couple adjustments on a couple stake races on increasing the purses. And I know Commissioner Buffington is usually interested in terms of whether that stake schedule fits within 20% of our overall purse schedule, which it will this year based on our calculations.
Motion,
Like,
we're gonna do both.
do both. Do the other
Oh,
one.
do both? Okay. Our second request is for the gaming and breakage letter from the New Mexico Breeders Association, which I consulted with Mary Barber on, and that is submitted for your approval as well.
For a motion to approve.
Ms. Buffington, I'll make a motion to approve 1 and 2.
Second, Petrie.
Call please, David.
Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Buffington,
Yes.
Commissioner Petrie. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Looks like we've finished our business. To adjourn. Looking for a motion to adjourn this conference.
Buffington, I'll make that motion.
Petrie.
Roll call please, David.
Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Buffington,
Yes.
Commissioner Petrie. Yes.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.